Okay, we're going to start another video again, and this time we're going to talk about the new data center manager from Proxmox. So, for me, uh, st starting with VMware way back when, it was so difficult and expensive to even have something close to be completely a enterprise solution where you know that your data is protected, your VMs are protected, and then it is pretty easy for you if there is a disaster to move a VM from one point or one node to another one. But since I've been testing Proxmox starting from version 7, I'm not that old in Proxmox because I was still looking. And starting from 7.1, so far I've been able to do so many crazy stuff in Proxmox when you don't have any subscription or any paid um, plugins that will help you accomplish something that you really want to do. So now having what I believe is a production cluster or two, most of them have been using them for as a mixed environment where I have a production device of production servers running, and at the same time, if I want to test something, and I'm still able to test them without creating any problem. But right now, when we see PDM, and with everything that they are saying right now, if you look at especially the roadmap to see all the goodies that supposed to come with the, the data center manager. So that is crazy. And I'm not waiting. I know it is an alpha um, release, but I mean, looking here, uh, the data center manager, what they're talking about here, that is, I mean, how can you resist it, right? So starting um, with the alpha, and then if you take a look at the roadmap, so let me zoom a little bit. The roadmap. Myself, I have something that is very, very important that um, I take here as note. Starting from here, I am going to post. I mean, this one is public. It's available everywhere. You should be able to see it. But I'm just going to add it to the description of that video, in case you want to click it pretty fast and then see what is going on there. But here's what I need. What I'm looking for right now is where I can get a replication going offsite. And that's something that I've been working on. Right now, we have something that is close to that. It's using the Proxmox backup um, to back up everything to a second cluster, and then we restore them. I'm going to see if this one is anything different. And starting from the SDN right now, and you didn't see any real need to do SDN if you have, the EVPN part of SDN if you didn't have clusters in different physical location. But right now, if I can configure my Proxmox in two different locations using the EVPN, and now there's a need for me to do the SDN and then integrate the EVPN in the VXLAN part of it. But right now, it is about um, the data center manager. So let's see what we can do. So the first thing I would like to do is, since I have two Proxmox, I'm going to two Proxmox and data center. I'm going to install it in both. But since I already started on the first one, we're going to take a quick look right now. So what we see here, basically nothing, empty, task, zero. And I have a feeling that when I'm running task, there might be a count for the task that I'm running on any PVE um, over here. And this one maybe will be the summary of all the LXEs that I have in all PVE, or in the case where I'm going to install multiple cluster. I don't even know if that's possible, but I'm going to do two different clusters to see what's going to happen. So guys, with high CPU, yeah, that's nice, and I really want to know that because right now, if I have to do it, it's very complicated situation, and the reason is I have a lab. Again, it's a lab. I'm running a lab or production in lab. After deleting everything that I think I don't need, I still have that many VMs running on my lab and all on that cluster. This one is a brand new cluster. We don't have a lot of VM running into them, but it's going to get there pretty soon. So looking at this one, not much is happening. So we're going to install on this one a different um, data center manager VM. And then at the end of the video, I will try to see if I can replicate whatever I add here to a whatever I add on the first data center manager, if I can add it to a secondary and if it's going to create any conflict. I'm not too worried about anything going on. If it doesn't work and I feel like something crazy is going on, I'm just going to delete everything or delete the VM or shut it down and then see if everything will start working fine. So quickly, let me create a new VM here. And if you look at the link for the data center manager requirement, that is pretty small. Let me see if it is over here. It's so small, it's not even funny. Yep. So you only require 2 cores and 2 gig RAM and 8 gigs of hard drives and well, I guess you need a network card. So let's start from here, and I'm going to call this one. What is the name of this one here? The PDM. Um, let's Proxmox. Uh, what is the name for it here? Oh, it's supposed to be, see, data center. See, it may have DC on the name since we're doing data center. And yep, it is here. It's on eLab. That is the name on it. So I'm going to create a different one here since this one is on Jedi. I'm going to do everything and just replace this one by Jedi. And then no pool. OS, since we have an ISO pool shared by all the hosts over here, I downloaded it. The ISO, I know there are multiple ways of installing the data center manager. You can even install it on existing Debian install, but just to make sure everything is clean, I don't have any software that's going to create any conflict. I'm going to leave it as the ISO for my install. So I'm not going to change anything, but I just want to enable this one here. I'm going to use the Discord here, but again, with the amount of um, whatever the requirement is right now, I'm not worried too much about it. And 32 gigs is the default thing they ask for 8. I'm not going to change it. I have multiple um, data storage pool, and those would be from Ceph. We can talk about that later. But for now, because I have something else I would like to test later on a different video when I'm doing failover testing with Ceph and with the HA on Proxmox, I'm going to leave this one on a local install. And I am going to do next socket, one socket, and then the core can be 2. I'm going to leave it 4. I'm going to leave it at 2 gigs. And for now, I'm going to leave it on the net management, remove the firewall, since this one will have direct connectivity with the via the PVEs, and confirm. Let's start it after creation. Now, since while it's doing whatever it is that it's doing right now, we'll go back to the Proxmox manager right now and then see if we can do stuff. So sounds like we have multiple options. If we look at remote, you can add here And then there's a tab here for remote. Let me come here on remote, and then I believe add Proxmox PVE. So my first doubt was they're not saying cluster, they just say PVE. But I realize they do not really care. They're not the data center manager. It's not for you to manage cluster, it's for you to manage PVE. But let's try to add the PVE and then see how it goes. So I am going to, just in case something goes wrong, I'm looking for the one that I can afford to lose at any time. That will be this one, summary, and this one always only have 8 CPUs. Let's start this one. So if you follow exactly on Proxmox uh, mini how to, they basically say you need to add the PVE, then you need to add the certificate. I have self-signed certificate, so I guess I'm just going to find my SSL and then view certificate. Then they said I will find the fingerprint and then copy it and then add it here. Sounds pretty easy. So let's do that. The one that I'm trying to add is Tatooine. And if I go over here, then I look for Tatooine under summary. So Tatooine has the IP address of .7. So I'm going over here and then copy this one, come to PVE and then drop it here, except it's going to be .7. So they didn't say remove the HTTPS or anything, so I'm just going to leave it as is right now, okay? Then I will come back here, and since we're under Tatooine, and then we'll go to certificate, and then I believe that's the PVE SSL. So I'm just going to show it here because it is a private lab, so there's no chance somebody can see it from the internet or something. Or again, if you break it, well, you're going to have to fix it. So I grab my fingerprint here and let's come over here. Let's see, add it over here. Let's see if it's going to work or if it's going to create any problem. Yeah, so it says connection is okay. And while there's a next button. Okay, remote ID cannot be empty, but what is it supposed to be? Hmm. So let's go back here. So it says, not this one here, copy, the port field, press connect, the Proxmox Data Manager pop connection. If it works, you can continue in the next step, entering your credential. For example, using the root user, the Proxmox Data will automatically create an API token to communicate with the Proxmox VE node. Well, so I guess over here, I am going to use the remote VE will be, what if I use the name? Okay, so I don't see anything about it. I'm going to use the name of this one. Or what if I use the IP? So it's .7. Let me use .7 as the IP. See, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? Then my username is root. Do my best to not echo my password. Okay, realm is PAM. That's what we've been using. And scan. Scan is okay. Well, I guess it gives me an option to add next. Okay, so now it shows 3 different PVE. Yes, that makes sense for my for my uh, for my install. But now because I did put this one, it's created twice with different fingerprint. I don't need to add this one. It may be a mistake that I'm going to make here, but let's delete it because I only know of the 3. I want to add the 3. Okay. It says I'm going to have the 3 nodes, this one, this one, this one, and then click finish. Well, there's an error or DNS error. Okay, why don't we do back then? I know what is going on then. At this point now, we're going to look at the IPs. This one we know it's, let's do by IP then. .7 is this one. There's another option. Uh, I could go to the host file, modify it, and then create the names. But uh, yeah, if this one doesn't work, all what I'm going to do later is we can delete the this one completely and then start over and then create my DNS record on the host file, and then that's it. So .7 is Tatooine, and then .5 is edu. So that makes it only one left. That is will be .4. That will be Nabu. All right, let's try again. Next, finish. Error. Edu. What is oh my god. Okay, okay. I didn't see that. This one say edu slash this. All right, let's one more time. Okay. Well, sounds like this one is online. It shows me one over here that's 7. Um, okay. Let's refresh. Why does it show me only .7? So it says .7 is the remote ID, and then it has all those hosts in the middle. Well, let's take a quick look to see what it means. Nothing here. It just I have 32 VM running, and it says I have 8 LXC containers that are not running. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. But why can't I see? Uh, so there's nothing here. Okay, it says I have 3 nodes over here. Yes, stuff are coming up. So I'm pretty sure right now it's trying to get a lot of information over here. But while everything is going on over here, so if we click on, we're just going around, we have notes that we can add, I believe, configuration, maybe DNS, maybe stuff to change over here. Uh, Nothing major. My network card, maybe later on there might be a need to add another network card. I don't know yet, but access control, that will have to be user management and other stuff, certificate, administration. What do I have here? Administration only has shell, and I'm pretty sure shell is anything that has to do with your OS. But what I would like to do, let's see if there's any logs file that is created just for that. No, box. Okay. Yeah, manager and is it task? No, I don't want task. What if API? What does it have? API. What is access? Well, yeah, that's basic access. I wanted to do maybe task. There might be something on task. Um, Active task. I'm pretty sure that would have to be anything that is going on right now. Okay. So let's go back to the dashboard, see if anything else changed. All right, so same thing. There's no error message over here, and then it start getting data. Right now we have all those, and for whatever the reason, this one is the one that has the highest CPU usage. And if you click on it, no, that is, yes, that is the server, and that is the PVE. Um, Everything here is about that VM, and this one is the whole thing about the host. So I think right now it may be helpful to know that of my memory, 212 gig RAM of 471, that is for the whole cluster, I believe, because I don't have any host that has all that RAM. Um, yes, this is my data over here. That has to do with the host. And well, I really don't like this part. The reason I don't like it is the fact that it's using my host and combine everything. So right now I feel everything I'm getting here is for the cluster instead of for that physical host. Okay. But again, sounds like here, if I click on it, let me see what it's going to do. Yeah, basically take me to that device page that I'm not interested in. Okay, so right now, since we're installing over here, okay, so it was talking to me, but I didn't pay attention to that. It needs me to install it. So basically, that's how I did on the first one. I didn't do anything specific, and I'm doing live where I'm making all the possible mistakes, and I am not doing virtualization inside of virtualization for this one. I am basically doing creating a VM, and those are real host, real host PVE. I'm running it on bare metal. So what I'm doing here, if you are doing it in your lab or in a production environment, you're going to have exactly um, the same experience or issues or troubleshooting that you have to do is going to be exactly the same thing. So, I mean, if you've been installed anything from Proxmox or anything from Debian, the UI will look exactly the same. Yes, I am in Canada, and I am in Edmonton. So I'm using exactly the same thing for on my server. PDM02. I'm going to call it the 02 dot. Um, I need that like that domain. I'm going to use it instead. So, um, well, again, this one I should. I'm going to break it later because how I'm going to break it is here. You notice everything is on DHCP right now. I don't have any static IP set up. And I believe if I change the IP address, I may have to re-add them. But if I have to re-add them, will the PVEs complain about it? We don't know. So let me do it. Automatically reboot after the install. So sounds like it doesn't need anything from me right now. I will continue with my walkthrough into the data center manager to see what is going on. So under remote, I still see one. And yes, so here's what I'm going to do. While I'm still installing on the second one, I'm going over here and do exactly the same thing. So let's use this host, for example. First, let me see what is the IP address of Vinny. So it's that 41. So 41, 42, 43 will be my host. And then while I'm here, I'm going to open the certificate, make sure everything is ready. Not in data center, I have to be on the host itself, certificate, and then the PVE, and then view certificate. I'm going to come over here, and then this time I'm going to the dashboard instead, and then add this one. Okay, and go back and then get this baby here, copy, and then add over here, and then hit connect. Okay, so just for your information, those two Proxmox clusters are not in the same location. This one is in my home. Now I think I understand what I should have done here. Uh, Over here, I wonder, can I rename? Can I rename the IDs? I wonder if the IDs could have been better used, like for the use the if I do edit right now. Well, I guess that explain it. I cannot change the ID. So next time I'm trying to add it on the second one, I'm going to use, as for the ID, I'm going to use the data center name instead of this one. Okay, again, let's see if anything crazy is going on the shell. Nope, but I'm pretty sure API may have some. But you know what? Log, syslog. Nope. Last log. Come on. Wow. Okay. So if I need the real Linux lab, I may have to install syslog-d or something else on it. But for now, let me see what is going on. It says I have 6 nodes online. 41, 169. What is it? 443. Okay, and I'm going. Usually default is root, and then I'm going to use the password that I created and palm for login. And then over here, okay, nothing is there. So let's do it. Let's add something over here. So again, I'm going to this one, grab this one here, and then add it certificate. So it's 41. Again, what is 41? 41 is Vinny. So let's go over here, certificate, this one, view, copy the fingerprint, and then over here we add it, then connect, connection okay, next, remote ID. Okay, for the remote ID, let me use this one. So we are here at the go bar. See if it's going to, oh, come on. I don't know the spelling. It's DG, the go bar. Okay, and user is wood password. William PVE. What is it? Palm? Yeah, let's do palm. And let's do scan. Scan OK. Next. Same thing. And Vinny is 141. BG is 143. And then Vinny is 142. And then remove this one. The next. Finish. Okay, body creator API request parameter verification token ID token already exists. Ha. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Um, so does it mean I can use an existing token? So, okay, let's go over here under API and token. Yep, there is a token here, but ay, 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 yeah, except you will not see it. So is there a way for me to just token name is PDM admin? What is the secret? Let me try that password. Does not match the regex pattern. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Can't you create a new token? Want to leave everything like this? Yeah. I mean, why should it change? I didn't do anything for it to change. 41, 43, 42. Finish. Continue. Finish. Okay, so let's go to the PDM over here under access control. Nope, nothing over here. Do you have an option to create a token? Well, my friend, that requires more research right now because we know with the same token, you cannot add the same host to PDM. You will have to be careful with the first time when you were installing when you are adding your PVE to the data center manager. If at any reason the token did show, so that you could have recorded it, because right now you need it. So I know the username is root, the token name is PDM admin, but on the second one here, it doesn't give us an option. It says we can use it. There's the token, but what is the secret? Um, Here, if we had an option to log in and do not create a token, well, I mean, maybe. So it says here, what if we do PVE here, API token name? What if we do PDM2? PDM2. Let's leave this one on Palm, and then let's do PDM2 to see if it's going to say okay. And then next, let's do the same thing again, copy paste. This one will be 3. This one will be 2. All right. Next, finish, go figure. What does that mean? Okay, we'll give it a few minutes, but let's go back to Vinny, and then let's click on token. So yeah, okay. So here's our answer then. For every PVE that you would like to manage with it, you have to change the token name so that it can generate a new token. Since you're not going, there is no way that you can see what is the ID here for the token. It just creates something. So, but can I see exactly what is going on? So it shows Dagba, Dagoba, and it shows subscription that is there, blah.